Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Orion Tabletop game.
It is our vlog, everyone.
Woo.
So, lots to talk about. Let's start with Adam's session first.
So good.
So, aliens.
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 So again, I'm leaving what exactly 057, it's 057, right?
057, yeah.
057. I'm leaving that open-ended as to whether or not she is actually an alien, or if she's just a magical being that muggles think or believed was an alien. It was sort of implied in earlier Orion sessions that a lot of phenomenon that's been going around, many muggles also believe are alien activity. So take that as you want to, interpret that how you will. That I'm leaving that very loose in interpretation.
I like the idea of nobody quite knowing what Eloise is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, you certainly provided us a very complicated moral quandary.
Oh, it was so good though. I loved it.
Oh boy. And it truly divided all of us.
Split the party without splitting the party.
I was gonna say, like, even though like it kind of divided the party in terms of like what they wanted to do, everyone was right and nobody was like completely wrong. Like everybody made very valid points from their own point of view.
Yeah.
It's always interesting to see what happens with a guilty innocent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I gotta say, this campaign, I am so happy I made Celestial Legilimens.
Yeah, that was really cool, and just like how I think we all have things that played really well in this campaign. Like my divinations and my seer abilities have played in really well, and so has VNO's magic technology, angle bent, and Michael's muggleness.
Michael's muggleness. Michael the Muggle.
It's just generally like anti-magic outlook right now is just so good because it's like I've just found it fascinating because like there are certain things about magic that he's starting to accept, like we can just do certain things, and other things he's still like, wait, what?
Yeah.
I love seeing that developing.
Yeah,
I thought of that in my session, and I didn't completely know what was going on. Where it's like, I have this ring, I'll let you use the ring. I'm like, juicy pop. I have no context for this deliberately. I've avoided context sensitivity.
I love characters like yours because it's like you feel bad for them, but at the same time it's like what they did was so wrong. You're like the setup for an anti-hero.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Maybe she'll come back after the time skip. Who can say?
Maybe.
Oh yeah. Felix was really, really conflicted because at the start he wanted to punish whoever did this. Maybe not kill, of course, but he wanted to make sure that this person got their just desserts. And now he feels very morally complicated about the whole thing when he found out more.
That's the other thing. Like Celeste saw it firsthand, so her view of like this isn't her fault is gonna be way stronger than anyone else's because she saw it.
Yeah. Thing is, Felix has a ton of empathy, but that doesn't always mean things are simple for him because he feels empathy for a lot of people, and the situation is so complicated that he couldn't really form a proper opinion.
Yeah,
I kept on telling Hart that, like, he asked me before things started, like, are you okay if she dies? And I was like, if it happens, I don't want it to happen, but I'm perfectly okay with that because I was fully anticipating there being one of many triggers happening that would cause her to force to resist. And there's something that happens whenever you don't have a ranged weapon and everybody else has a ranged weapon.
Yeah.
Well, Felix probably would have tried to stupefy her. So you may have come out alive. That happened.
Am I right? Come on! I know that we could do better than that.
Yeah, I loved I loved that because it was the first time the group had ever been so divided on something.
Mm-hmm. Adam, can you tell us more about your experience playing in this session?
I had a good time. I wish I hadn't had to keep running back to the bathroom because I drank too much water earlier, but I had a great time. I had a lot of fun. It was really interesting because it was pseudo GM-y, but it was also as a player.
Yeah. Do you believe that you were able to properly tell Eloise's story?
I do and I don't.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like it was left very open because of how little we know about them, her, it. Insert pronoun, not him.
How about Jonathan's character story?
Oh, that was amazing! Like,
Oh man.
for the whole thing where Felix, we are introduced, and he seems so cool, and Pio's Benno, and then Felix slowly becomes suspicious at his stories once he realizes he's lying. Then Felix leaves, and for my whole time I think, oh, Felix is going to end up saving the day. Nope.
Oh,
It's not your day.
the dice made that story.
Baby Vienno was definitely cool.
Oh, baby
I-
Vienno.
I normally don't say these kind of things, but I'm gonna be very honest. Of the 4 agents, Vienno is probably my favorite.
Aww.
He has a very special spot in my heart. And we were able to have baby Vienno appear. He was like, I love this kid so much.
I have an art idea for this session purely for the Vienna stuff, and I might actually go ahead and draw it.
Maybe with him
Draw it.
watching the storyteller.
I was so upset when I failed to I rolled those double ones because I thought, oh god, I just got Vienno killed.
You did get Vienno killed.
Yeah.
I
You
did
did.
die.
He did die. He
I gotta-
legitimately died.
This was a great example about how critical failures can be just as enjoyable as critical
Oh
success.
yeah,
Yes.
that was amazing. That was the best.
It was so well timed because everything like lined up to force Michael into that really interesting situation because he definitely was like, keep that wand away from me. I don't want to use magic. I don't want to
Oh
use
my
magic.
god, yeah. I remember from the first part where he refused to take the wand.
Yes.
And then it came back later in the best way.
I love how that inadvertently foreshadowed things because obviously, like, we didn't know what we were gonna roll.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And when it got to the point where Vienno dies, everything lined up perfectly so that you guys rolled really low in your intuition. So you all were like, okay, this guy seems nice, which you even told me while we were in the flashback. You're like, oh, that man seems really sweet. He seems really nice. And so, of course, you were like eating up out of his hand, and Felix, the one who was suspecting something was going on, leaves the room. I don't trust this guy. I'm gonna leave my friends alone with him.
Well, Felix was going to go and investigate the house. He didn't think that something was going to happen while he was gone.
Right.
By the way, that vision of what would have happened if we had all failed was hilarious. You broke me hard.
Someone who didn't know what the ring did, I'm like,
oh my god! And Michael's double sixes.
Michael's double sixes.
I love how twice now double sixes have been the only way to save someone, and we succeeded.
Yes.
We are so lucky in the best ways.
I know.
Unlucky in the best ways and lucky in the best ways.
It was amazing storytelling that the dice was assisted in amazing storytelling because I felt like if the dice had turned any other way, it would not have been as good. It would not have played out as good. One thing I will say about Michael's about the Taurus ring, yes, the Taurus ring's powers are very like game-breakingly powerful, which is why I like that it's Michael's power because of the fact that Michael doesn't want to use it. So if I were to give that to somebody who I know wants to use it, that's one thing. But specifically because Michael doesn't want to use it, I know I can trust his character with something that powerful because it's not going to really be abused as much.
Felix would totally use that power to save as many lives as he could.
Yeah.
And he totally tries to use it to help save the day. but it's
Yeah.
in Michael's hand, and Felix kind of understands that it's its most powerful, and Felix kind of understands that. It's why he tried to convince him to take the wand the first time, because he understands that it's the wand. And in some situations, it's best if Michael has it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I also like the fact that like Michael's been so scared of magic because he doesn't understand it, and he uses this ring and he saves someone's life for it.
Yeah,
And it's like he says like this can be used for good. It's still really dangerous, but it can be good, and I can see that with my own eyes because I just did it.
yeah. Michael
I
has
love that Michael does that shit.
Michael has probably with this ring is probably the most game-breaking character, but it's because he's so afraid of magic, and he's so reluctant that it kind of balances out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A certain stone from the first Wizarding World book that you can only get if you don't want it.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah, you can only get it if you don't want it.
Very true.
And it just so conveniently ended up near him when Felix knocked himself out.
Yeah.
Hint, hint, nudge, nudge from the DM.
Mad.
That actually brings up a point I want to make that kind of ties into a thing that a little short combo between Celeste and Felix about him mentioning fate and coincidence.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Felix has this belief in there aren't really coincidences. Really, he knows there's a lot of coincidences, and he thinks that's kind of fate, really. And Felix has this weird philosophy where he believes in free will and fate. That all those weird coincidences are fate, but we ultimately make our own decisions. It's a weird thing.
I will say one reason why Celeste reacted kind of against the idea of fate is because she refuses to believe in fate, because then everything that has happened was inevitable. Nothing could have changed it. It was supposed to happen. All these terrible things were supposed to happen. To hell with what anyone did, and she cannot bring herself to believe that.
Felix doesn't think of fate that way. Like, he thinks, no, nothing is truly fated. Some things are fated, but not everything, and we are ultimately in control of our fate.
Again, I think it really comes from just the way our experiences have been, because Celeste has some like super dark shit in her past. I still don't know everything about Felix.
Yeah.
Felix's life is kind of defined. It has been kind of defined by his abilities, really.
Yeah.
There's the Doctor Who explanation that there are some fixed points in time.
Yeah.
Some fixed points in time, but the vast majority of events in time are not fated. But there are some fated fixed places.
Sometimes time travel and stuff and fate and coincidences can reference each other. Like, you'll notice little things that, that's weird.
I mean, like another thing that almost brought up like the fate and coincidence thing, because I wasn't expecting to run into Michael's mother today. I don't think any of us were. But Eloise was Celeste's mother's name. That's why it was so important to her.
Interesting.
So it's like she named her after her own mother, and then we go and meet Michael's mother.
Interesting.
So it's like
actually really ironic, because in the situation where 057 at the time would have been prompted to go a step further and sap the knowledge from, basically the essence from Celeste, that's the name she would have taken anyways.
Was the mother of Celeste. That she would have taken it anyway, ironically. Interesting.
Yeah.
That's how she rolls, especially with a lot of male victims, because if she walked up and said, "Hey, I'm Jim," the only time she would have to say Jimette would be if like it was a drifter who had no remaining memories of their mother or any female figure in their life.
Wait again with the name.
Jonathan, mad props to you on an amazingly interesting and cool character. Amazingly cool character. How did you... So, Apuka, like you said, actually is a real mythological creature?
Yeah, so for one of my campaigns I'm running, it's very much based in the Celtic folklore. And Puka were more close to their original mythological self in that campaign, but my players had this one encounter with one very similar to that one, and they loved it. And I went, well, why not just repurpose it?
I've never seen the show, but like having an evil storyteller is so like Black Mirror to me. it's a super interesting and super cool concept.
Oh,
And I mean,
kind of Twilight Zone thing.
I was also gonna say, like, amazing job on just the stories in general that you told.
Yeah,
Good.
yeah. I enjoyed all the stories told.
I was gonna say the very first one you started telling was actually kind of reminding me of Jack and the Cuckoo Clock Heart, if you know that movie.
I actually don't, sadly.
Yeah.
You need to look it up. It's amazing.
I will.
I think I really enjoyed all the stories told. I think the weakest story was probably mine, the story Felix told, because I made that up on the spot.
I
Yeah,
made up all mine on the spot too.
yeah.
You are a much better storyteller than I am.
I stole it from my D&D games.
I was gonna say I was like hoping no one would look at Celeste to tell a story because it's like she would not like that.
Yeah. Felix was kind of used his used some of his own life as influence for his story, but maybe not as his life wasn't as grim as that story was.
Yeah, Jonathan, I mad props to you for being able to on the fly come up with those narratives. Because when we talked privately, I asked him if he preferred me, if he was more comfortable for me to tell the stories myself, but I was encouraging him to do it himself, and he did an amazing job.
Yeah, like
That was great.
if you were gonna come back, I'd say you deserve inspiration for that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Here's the thing: you are probably the best antagonist we've had so far.
You are terrifying.
Yeah.
Because it's like the nice ones are always so creepy. It's like you literally reminded me of Hannibal Lecter because you're likable but you're dangerous.
I also like the way we defeat him is that he has no idea what happened.
I know. That's the best part.
He was the closest to killing at least 3 of you. He was the closest.
You didn't even get a good story.
He's actually the only antagonist to kill a character.
Yeah.
Technically,
Well,
yes.
he almost. Well, yeah. One almost did. Yes.
Yeah, one almost killed Michael, but God, you actually succeeded. It was only through Michael X Machina that it failed.
Michael X Machina.
I was actually gonna say technically 2 antagonists almost killed Michael: the werebat and the lizard.
I know, but he actually succeeded at killing Vienno.
Yeah.
Okay, so we gotta say, well, I'm the first death of this campaign.
Yay!
Well, Jonathan, I told Jonathan, I said, "Are you comfortable killing someone?" And he asked me which one should I kill, and I said, "Well, I was about to say Michael, but that's so obvious because everyone keeps targeting Michael. I feel like we need to target somebody else." And I'm like, "Go after Vienno this time." And that was before you guys rolled, and it just so happened that Vienno had the worst roll, so I'm like, oh, this is perfect.
Okay.
This is so perfect.
Also, I love that you guys got to get your cake and eat it too, because beforehand, I don't think you were there for this arc, but they're like, we'll just shoot the next guy. So they got to take me in non-violently and kill me.
Yeah.
I did it.
I think this may be one of my favorite sessions. Oh man, there's so many good sessions that I can't pick a favorite.
I got a random fun question for everybody.
Yeah.
What color would your soul ball be?
Orange.
The person or the character we just played? Because
Character.
Or your character.
So Eloise's soul ball would actually be a mixture of different auras.
Mhm.
Because you kind of
Felix, Felix's aura would be red.
Okay.
Wahaha.
I'm gonna go with like white, I guess.
White. Okay. Okay. Brightwood. That makes sense.
Yeah.
And Celeste would be
Celeste would have been a dark gray.
dark gray. Interesting. What would Mr. Puka's soul ball look like?
Well, if he got caught telling a story in the bathroom mirror, he would accidentally pull out a purple soul ball.
Oh, in the bathroom mirror. Okay. Interesting.
I have a question.
Yes.
Has Toby mentioned my character's name to the other group? Just interested.
Does Toby?
Has
Yeah.
Toby.
Yeah.
Toby?
Has Toby mentioned my character's name to the other group?
No, only because he only just found the ring in the last session.
Okay.
So he hasn't-
Does anyone know he found the ring?
Yes, they do. They saw
Okay.
him find the ring.
Um,
So him messaging you is still in the future in the main campaign. He hasn't done it in the campaign yet, but he's about to.
Okay.
So excited to see what comes of this.
So
yeah, I kind of want to see what happens. And I hope Piano gets the ring.
I think it's a very good chance that Viano Seppa will get a name drop in the next session. I think it's very likely he'll get a name drop.
That's good. That's cool.
It just freaks me out knowing that we're so close to the finale. Cause like you guys are so close to recording this finale because we are so close to recording the finale. It's like
Yeah, like aren't we like 3 weeks away from the finale?
Yeah,
2.
you are. 2, less than that. Jonathan, do you have any questions or anything to say or about your experience?
I would just say I was hoping I'd get to exploit factors in the party a little bit more, but sadly you guys were acting like a group whenever you're in front of me. How dare you guys be united against something dangerous?
They've been through this a number of times before, so they've kind of learned.
Yeah, we've kind of become comrades' arms. We are very protective of each other.
Yes. But it was a good attempt. It was a good
was
shot.
great.
You still had a great scene though.
Oh,
Mr.
so
Puka.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm also excited that Felix caught what Agent Scythe said.
Yeah.
That's gonna be a fun scene.
I think there needs to be a Agent Scythe confrontation in
Oh.
Next
Felix-
session.
Yeah.
Next session, we're going to be having so much like just outside of the guest RP. I almost feel bad.
Yeah, the plan for next session is that the first 2 hours is probably going to be a free-for-all roleplay, whoever you want, and then we'll bring Sam in, is the plan.
So, I think the first thing I want to do is to talk to Agent Scythe.
Mm-hmm.
No, I also want to talk to Rodney about something important.
Okay.
Yeah.
I need to
Those are
talk
my
to
two big
Rigel.
Considering we just name dropped Sam, you guys are really going to want to check out the very first episode of STK because he shines so bright in it.
Oh,
I'll
I'll check it out when it comes
definitely love
out.
It was really fun getting to watch Jonathan's thing. Just everybody else is feeling dread, and I just get to cackle in the background.
Yeah, that was it. This was a really fun session, and I really enjoyed you both as guests.
Oh yeah, you guys were amazing. I
Yeah,
love
I was
you
sitting
guys.
there watching. I was watching Adam, and I'm sitting there like, how do I follow that?
This was a very solid cast of guests.
All the
we've
guest
had-
characters.
all of the guests so far have been really great. But this is just a reminder that this has been a very good cast of guest characters we've had.
And then we have a time skip, and we get to do more.
This is why I wanted to do this spin-off in the first place, because I'm like, I want to play with all these people because they're all good.
Yeah.
They're all very good. I wanted Jonathan. I would have loved to have, all these people in the campaign, but it's just not feasible. And there's like 15 more of you that I want in the campaign, so I'm like, this is the best I can do, and I'm glad we got a little taste of that.
And this just makes me look forward to all your future campaigns because, like, oh my gosh, what groups are going to get together next? Who's going to play with who? Because,
Who's
like,
gonna? Yeah. Hopefully, everyone who's a guest is gonna audition for a future campaign, so I can snatch them up next time.
Definitely.
Because I couldn't catch them this time.
Well, I'm going to try my best to get in as well. So.
Me too. Me too.
I'm not going to give up.
What?
This is my second spin-off. I'm going to get into one of the main campaign.
Jonathan, did you want to tell them about the original character concept you had? Because I thought that was also really interesting.
Oh, which one of the original ones? I went to look for.
The movie one?
The movie one?
Was that
okay.
you talked about the movie one?
Yeah. So...
It was about it was like a sentient movie.
Oh yeah.
A sentient movie, which I thought was super cool concept. What was that going to be about?
So there's a bunch of different concepts I had relating to that. The first one was a painting. I eventually moved it over to a movie where it's a sentient movie that's trying to get you to come into the movie and join it.
Oh, that would have been cool.
Oh, and then we would have ended up in the movie, and then you had to have to find
And then
escape.
right, and then you would have been like actual characters in the movie,
Oh,
like
that would've been so
trapped
fun.
characters in the movie would have been super cool.
I will say, if you had done that, it would have had to have been a film noir.
Oh, that would be great.
One of you guys just turns
Michael's the detective. The Celeste is the femme fatale.
Yeah.
I don't know what Felix or Vienna would be.
You could be like the Nicolas Cage Spider-Man noir kind of feel.
Yeah. I gotta say this because confession time. Before this even started, Kevin and I were talking, and we'd originally wanted to try and make like a teaser trailer that was like a film noir teaser trailer.
Oh, that would be
Oh,
great.
that'd be amazing if you want to make one.
We wanted to try and do it, but we just couldn't figure out a way to make it work because like we live on opposite ends of the country.
Yeah.
So it's like, that would have been so fun.
Yeah.
I just want to ask, what did you think of my storytelling?
I thought it was really good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You made me cry.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm sitting there.
Ironic.
Yeah. I'm sitting there, and the thoughts going through Mr. Puka's head was, man, you would have made a great Puka.
Oh yeah, he could have made a great Puka if he had a chance.
I think all of the agents had a time to shine in this session. Like,
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We hadn't seen a lot of VNO recently, so I'm glad we had some really great
I noticed
VNO
that.
moments.
I'm really
Me
glad
too.
you got the focus then.
And now I have a pet owl. Yay!
Now you have a pet
Yay!
owl. What is the pet owl's name again?
Taika. It's a female owl, and Taika basically means magic in Finnish.
Magic and Finish. I like
Yes.
that.
Yeah.
Taika. I love that.
Oh, it's so good.
Sweet.
This just